East Africa, Arabia, South Asia and now South America. All are suffering some of the worst plagues of desert locusts in 50 years. The insects have been devastating food supplies by wiping out crops as they swarm over fields and farms. Ryan Thompson has more.
Though the sky is darkening, this is not a storm nor nightfall. Swarms of desert locusts are descending ravenously around the world. Here in the Horn of Africa, they're roving through croplands and flattening farms at a devastating barrage. Experts say the event is an unprecedented threat to the region's food security.
Fear it a lot because it has never happened ever since we came to this place. It is the first of a kind and it is so terrifying.
But it's not just Africa's problem. Since the start of the year, locust swarms have been spotted in India, Yemen, and as of last week, Argentina and Brazil. The tiny creatures reproduce rapidly and have a herd mentality. Swarms eat everything in their path, destroying entire fields of crops. On the ground, planters can do little but watch with horror and dismay. International organizations have already spent millions this year funding mass aerial sprays with pesticides to kill the swarms. But the chemicals can hurt crops and leave struggling regions hungry. Ryan Thompson, Euronews.
Well, we can find out more. Joining us is Keith Cressman, locust expert at the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Thank you very much for your time. So we've got 4 separate areas that are being devastated, as we've just heard, by these locusts. Why is it happening now, and what is fueling these insects?
Well, this is basically a response into extremely good weather conditions that allows the locusts to breed and increase very rapidly in number. And this is what is happening now in those 3 areas of desert locusts and then the 4th area of South American locusts.
We saw pesticide use there in the report. What are the strategies to try and combat them, to try and help?
Well, when you have a problem of this magnitude, really the only effective way to reduce locust numbers is by aerial control of chemical pesticides or using biopesticides. So in other words, it's crop dusting and it's really trying to find all of those infestations as quickly as possible and bring them under control.
What impact then does that have, that sort of treatment, on the crops, though? Does that mean the crops will then be, destroyed regardless?
No, in fact, it has the opposite impact. This is precision spraying. Those pesticides, they must land exactly on the locust. You cannot spray the crops or the environment or the pastures. And in about 24 hours, those pesticides break down. They're no longer toxic. So if, the control operations are done by well-trained, well-equipped teams, usually of the national authorities, they can have very, very good results.
Do these countries have the capacity to undergo that sort of treatment that you're talking about?
Well, all of the countries have a basic capacity. The problem is when, you have so many swarms that, can quickly overwhelm the national capacities, then the international community needs to step in and upscale those operations.
Just finally, you talked about the weather, the kind of climates in the places that we've been talking about. Does that mean that it's less likely for these locusts to go to maybe other continents or countries with a different type of atmosphere?
Yes, absolutely. In the case of desert locusts, of course, just like their name implies, they really will stick to the deserts of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. The climates, of course, the cyclones that drive these type of events, they're associated with very strong winds, so they can collect a lot of locusts, bring them into those areas of the good habitats, and that's where the problem begins.
Keith Cressman, thank you very much for just giving us a little bit more insight into this problem. Locust expert at the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Thank you very much.